All right, so what you're looking at is my latest auction that I was at. Man, I bought all kinds of stuff there. There was so much good stuff there. But this video is going to be focused, I guess, on these filter units right here. And I'll get back to those. But in order to fit all this stuff in here, I had to make a run to the scrapyard because I had so much shred in here that I just needed to make room for it. So here's what I ended up doing. I went down to the scrapyard and I had 1,220 pounds, and they were paying, it shows right here, $140 a ton. So it got me $85. So that's $85 that we can add to our collection of money. All right, so getting back to this auction here. So before I get on those filters right there, let me show you this wire right here. I bought this lot of wire. This is all one lot. I mean, there's so much wire in here. And let's see, I wrote things down here. I paid $291.52 with the fees and everything for all that wire. Look, let me show you this right here. Like I said, I paid $291.52. There's a green spool right there. There's about 400 feet on that. That's 8 gauge. There's a brand new 1,000-foot spool of 10 gauge and another new spool, 1,000-foot of 10 gauge. Those three right there, if I strip those down, I've already done the math, $354 of bare bright at today's prices. So that more than covers this whole entire lot of wire. Let me show you some other things that we got. I mean, we got all kinds of anything that has to do with water or cooling units, you know, that catches my attention and I buy it. Or if it's got pieces of copper with motors on it, that gets my attention too. This unit right here, I'm not sure what it is, paid $920 for it. There's a big old blower fan. There's these two motors right here. There's actually two units, and they said one is a water flow system and the other is a hydraulic. And the two of them I paid $32 and yeah, $32 for them. And then just all kinds of stuff in here. Here's these two, these are KKW cooling units. I paid $18.40 for both of them. And then these water control flows right here, $6.90 I paid. Now these, they had a whole bunch of these things and I bought 4 of them. In total, I paid $48.30 for those. These are portable battery chargers. 3 of them say defective. So I'm not sure what these are worth. If anybody's familiar with these things, put it in the comments and let me know. I'm not going to break these down for, this is probably going to be a while before I get to these. Here's something nice here. Let's see, this is a stainless steel commercial cold table. And look, it's got its own cooling unit underneath there. You know, it's like a refrigerator or air conditioner or whatever. So there's all kinds of goodies in there. That whole system right there, nobody bid on that thing. I got it for $5. And then with the taxes and everything, $5.75. And that thing weighs probably 50, 60 pounds, stainless steel. So I know I'll get my money back on that. And then I got these lots of just pressure gauges and control valves and whatever, you know. So that one, $5.75 for that. I paid $12.65 for that one, and this one here, $10.35 for that. I got me a nice couple of transformers down here, and they're kind of buried under things here. So that transformer here, this stuff is pretty heavy. I can't. So that's just a transformer. Paid $52.90, and that other one I paid. You can't hardly see it back there. I paid $37.95. I got all kinds of little motors, other cooling units right here. This one here has got all kinds of copper on the outside of it. You can see that. $6.90 for that one. And, you know, it's all kinds of goodies. Gonna keep me busy for a while. So let's move on to these filters right here. This is what the video is going to be about is I'm going to break these filters down, and there shouldn't be really that much involved in it, I wouldn't think. That's why I was doing a lot of talking at the beginning of the video. So these filters here, they are Fluflo Filters, Commercial Filter Corporation, Lebanon, Indiana. So when I looked at these, they were just laying on the ground, and I kind of bypassed them because I wasn't interested in them at all. When I seen that nobody bid on them, you had to give a $5 starting bid. That's the least that they would take, so $5. So I thought, all right, I'll bid $5. So I bid actually it's $5 each. And I figured that they probably weighed close to 100 pounds. So I figured, you know, that maybe there's something on them that I could get some value out of them if they weighed 100 pounds at $5, you know, I'd at least get my money back from scrap it. But let's take a look at these things right here. They didn't weigh 100 pounds when I got them home, I found out. Let's check it out. Let's see what they weigh. All right, so let's weigh one of these things up here. Zero that out. It's all right up. 79.3 pounds. All right, so I was thinking, well, so the next thing what we're going to do is put a magnet on it. I'm just figuring they're just some kind of a steel. So I put the magnet on it, and it doesn't stick. Down here it sticks a little bit. On this end here, nothing. All right, so the magnet doesn't stick. So that tells me it's non-ferrous, which that's good. So now all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, even though it doesn't weigh 100 pounds, I could still get my money back because it's probably stainless or aluminum. So what's the next thing you do? You get the grinder out. So the next step would be to find out if it's stainless or if it's aluminum. And I always take the grinder to see if it gives a spark. If it gives a spark, you know it's a stainless. If there's no spark, it's probably going to be aluminum. So we'll take the grinder. I got no spark, so I'm thinking, okay, I got aluminum. Until I looked at it. Check this out. Can you see that? That yellow? So, can you believe that? This housing of this filter is brass. I was in shock. So I was just thinking, there's no way that whole thing's brass. So I looked them up, and sure enough, they make them brass for corrosion resistance and in the industrial field. So now, I'm thinking, okay, if it's stainless, you know, you can get 30 cents a pound out of it. So I definitely make my money back. If it's aluminum, you can make 55 cents out of it. But brass, now we're at $2.35 a pound. So I'm going to break this thing down. We're going to see what kind of metals are in there. I know there's a little bit of steel in there. I know there's some aluminum. That cap is cast aluminum. So I know there's not going to be much involved in tearing these apart. But this, I guess this would be like a locking nut after you take the cap off. This is also solid brass. I've already tested that. So this is all brass. That thing probably weighs 2 pounds, 3 pounds. Take this cap off, and I don't know, this thing here probably weighs 5-6 pounds. This is all cast aluminum. I already took the magnet to it and checked it. So let's go ahead and put this up on the table and see what we can break down here and see what else we got in here. All right, so we got this up on the table here, and like I showed you, this thing here is it's all cast aluminum, except for that what do you call it, pepcock here. Have to get that out of there, but you can take this housing off here. That's a nice chunk of brass right there. We'll set that thing up. So now we're getting down to the bottom of this thing here. I'm guessing this is going to be the steel here. So, no, this shaft right here is not magnetic. All right, so we got spark. So this is stainless. Check this. These are all Oh, that's brass too. This setup right here is brass. I'm guessing these as well. Oh yeah. So those are all brass. So this piece right here, if you can see that nice yellow, and then this right here is brass. So we got a stainless steel rod right here. And you gotta figure out how to get this apart. Let me switch this around here. There's some things on the end. These little reliefs right here. Let's break those off there. Those are that's brass. This one here is brass. Let's take those off there. Let's do this the right way. Nice chunk of brass there. Yeah, nice chunk of brass there. Alright, there's a piece there. Take the cap out of there. All that rod's in there. Wonder if they're just molded into there. I don't know. Things threaded in there? Or? Oh yeah. Nice and easy. So these. Nope. Those are not threaded in. Okay. So they're not threaded in there, they were just molded in there. All right, let's go ahead and take the second one apart here. Get this off there. Now, I don't know if you can see that real good, but get a glare on there. That looks like brass to me, not aluminum. I'm not sure. All right, so I got them broken apart. Let's go ahead and weigh up the brass and the aluminum and the stainless and see how much we got out of it. I paid $5.75 with the fees and everything for each one of them. I think we did pretty good on this. Let's weigh it up. Here, I'll weigh the stainless steel first. We had 2 stainless steel rods. And get them to stop rolling. That's 17.5 pounds for the stainless. And we'll weigh up the aluminum, or what I think is aluminum. I'm going to hold on to that stuff, just give me some time to figure out if it's aluminum or brass. Well, assuming it's aluminum, we got 66.4 pounds. Here's the bucket that had all the pieces of brass in it. Oh, man. All right, so that's looking good there. 75.25 pounds of brass. All right, let me get the numbers added up and see how we did on this auction. Okay, so I got the final tally on these filters here. And we spent $11.50, $5.75 for each one of them. They were $5 plus 15% is what the fee was. So out of the stainless steel, we had 17.5 pounds at 30 cents a pound. That comes to $5.19. The aluminum, 66.4 pounds at 55 cents a pound, comes to $36.52. And the brass, look at that, 77.25 pounds at $2.35 comes to $181.54 for a total revenue of $223.25 just off those 2 $5 filters. And wow. Can't complain about that. That's a good auction buy right there. You know, you need those every once in a while. So, I guess that's about all I'm going to have for this video here. I'm going to get working on this wire and all this other stuff right here. All right, so we're going to end this video. We've got to get our scrap to the scrapyard so we can get paid.
We had fun at this auction.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun at this auction. We got to get busy tearing down all that wire, and I can't wait to get into all that other stuff. So, hey, thanks for watching.